Right, the Six Nations final weekend is coming up, and I'm going to make a quick correction of a screw-up that I made. It wasn't Finn Russell, it was Horn who threw the missed pass that was intercepted for the try in the last Scotland game. I will say this, I do all my videos in one take. There isn't none of this stop, start editing stuff. It is literally me, video, done, upload, onto the next video. So I try and get my videos done as quick as possible to get as much content up as possible before it is just not doable in the evening when the house is busy. So, okay, on with the show. We have Scotland versus Italy. Scotland are making 5 changes. This is what's reported on the BBC News website, Sky Sports website, and other outlets. This is what's been reported, is they're making 5 changes, although this is subject to change with injury and or illness and or suspension, etc, etc. I do believe these changes are necessary. Scotland, when they play with control, and this is the crucial thing, Gregor Townsend is very talking about this chaotic, organised chaos, but they need the organisation and control before they can do the chaotic stuff, the free-flowing, crazy, off-the-cuff. When they try and force the organised chaos, as he calls it, too early, they tend to lose the game. They need to bash up a couple of phases, earn the right to then play expansive. It's a simple mantra they use in rugby union, is earn the right to play expansive rugby. They sometimes force the play and it leads to the missed pass, such as Finn, Russell and Horn in the 2 defeats where they've decided, and it's always going right. The right hand side of their attack is where the issues lie sometimes. But on that point, they're playing Italy. Now Italy have underwhelmed again. They are showing signs in the right areas, and they have actually scored a lot of tries in defeat in the previous 4 games. So Scotland shouldn't underestimate this Italian side, but it's just getting full 80 minutes out of them. It really comes down to getting a full game out of them. And again, it comes down to concentration. They either switch off defensively or they don't run out of steam. It's just they switch off defensively, I think, and basic errors again. So concentration is their issue. I'm going for a close Scotland win in this one. Second game, Wales-France. The surprise holders of second place, Wales, with the surprise resurgence of France. Now, Wales are in second place because of their bonus points. In years past, they may not have been. Now, Wales, again, much like France and Scotland, have a 50-50 win-loss record, so it's very tight for second in the tournament. England as well have a 50% win-loss record. It's a very congested second to 5th. Wales have had a lot more injuries than most teams. They're regularly making a lot of changes. Now, in the last game, they did make a lot of changes against Italy, and it obviously didn't affect the result, but it affected the flow of the team and the game. Whether Warren Gatland decides just to stick with what he's got or make more changes again, he's turning into the Tinkerman. He's turning into Rafa Benitez or Claudio Ranieri, so to speak, in football, where they make a lot of changes from game to game and in-game. Obviously, Warren Gatland is trying out a lot of fresh faces here and a lot of newer international players who haven't got a lot of caps. Because, yes, they are looking forward to the World Cup next year. If this was the Six Nations next year, I would expect a lot of these changes. This, I think, is too far out from this World Cup to make so many changes. But each coach has their own ideas and their own mantra. Wales have disappointed me at times. Some of their defeats have been heavy, well, costly. Not as heavy as Scotland's, hence the bonus points. But the Ireland game especially, they just did not show up until it was too late. And then they're trying to catch up. And then they throw a missed pass as well. And then they lose the game. France, on the other hand, now this French side still has a lot of problems. And the French rugby in general has a lot of problems both domestically and at international level. But they're just somehow getting results with this group of players. They have selected more players in the Six Nations than any other nation. They have gone through so many combinations, so many players since the Six Nations was formed. So if we go back to the formation of the Six Nations in 2000, the French have actually had more players wear the Les Bleus jersey than any other nation when it comes to selection. Some coaches, Philippe Saint-André, when he was coach, went through over 100 different players at international level in his time as coach. About 100 different players were selected. So there's no consistency in selection with France. However, the last couple of games, they're starting to show some consistency at fly half, centre, full-back, wing. They're starting now to solidify a lineup. Now, whether it's the best lineup they can get out there or it's the best disciplined lineup or whatever the lineup may be, they now have a lineup, a consistent lineup from game to game. And Mathieu Bastard has been crucial in France's sudden resurgence. He is an animal at the breakdown. He's a centre who's built like a prop / back row forward. He's 20 stone of immovable object. And he's also more skillful than people give him credit for. Bringing Francois Trinh-Duc back out fly half is actually looking like an inspired move by Jacques Brunel. The defeat of England was crucial to this French side. Absolutely crucial. The close loss to France, again, was absolutely crucial for this French side. These are all short-term fixes that Jacques Brunel is doing. The worry that I have for France is there's no long-term plan for the World Cup they've now acquired, and bringing young players through and developing youth players and developing young fly halves, scrum halves, young prop forwards. Their scrum actually is reasonably content. The front five is reasonably selects itself. It's the other positions that's a mess. They've had off the field issues with Teddy Tonga and Louis Picamol leading a drink binge after the defeat to Scotland. So player discipline is an issue with France. Player selection is a problem. Combinations, the whole lot. But the last couple of games, they are showing a few signs of life. I am going for a close, and I will say this, close Wales win, and we're talking within 5 points. This is going to be one of those nail biters, and it may come down to missed kicks. The final and the final game of the weekend, England playing Ireland at Twickenham. England have basically not fallen apart, but they've hit a few issues. There are issues for them at the breakdown and in supporting the player. Now, so there are issues in attack, and it's in close on attack. It's not passing the ball past the ball and spreading the ball wide. It's actually when the player takes the ball forward, there's no one close enough in support on the shoulder to either help with an offload, so offload the ball, or clear out and get over the game line and take and clear out the opposition players from the breakdown. Hence why they've lost the last 2 games. The defeat to Scotland highlighted that Scotland had basically worked out that England were very late in getting to the breakdown, or were pushing the boundaries with holding on as a penalty, and were very fine on the line. So they worked out that England were a bit wobbly in that area and exploited it. France exploited it more. I was very surprised by the French exploiting it more. I thought England would have fixed this. They hadn't. Ireland are also exceptionally good at the breakdown. They're good at isolating the ball carrier, and England's ball carriers keep getting isolated. Now, Eddie Jones has basically said, look, you don't become a bad team overnight, and England are not a bad team. They're going through some learning pains. They've also had to make a lot of changes, but it is so obvious that the breakdown is their weakness, and it is killing them. And for a team of this calibre to have those problems, it is kind of a bit embarrassing. Also, this week it's been announced Ireland are now ranked number 2 in the world. They've overtaken England because of their results so far in the Six Nations and winning the title. And this Irish side, I'm actually going to say they are going to get the Grand Slam. They're going to get the Grand Slam. I think they're going to beat England. The breakdown again is going to be the key area, and Ireland are exceptionally good at it. They're very good at isolating the ball carrier. They're very good at getting turnovers and counter-attacking. England have issues. They're having issues with who's going to be captain. Is it going to be Dylan Hartley going forward? Is it going to be Owen Farrell? Who else is it going to be? The minor issue of support the ball carrier has become a bigger issue for England because it's just led to other problems throughout the side. Penalties will be important. England's discipline has also been poor the last couple of games. Look for Ireland to exploit it. Anyway, that is my preview for the final round of the Six Nations. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll have some more videos for you soon.